Olympic gold medalist, a reality television star, a conservative talk radio host, and former San Diego mayor. Just some of the 46 certified candidates vying for Governor Newsom's seat.
There have been more, though, in previous recalls.
Yes.
Yeah, there have been more people. So at last night's debate, we got to hear from John Cox, Kevin Faulconer, Kevin Kiley, and Doug Osee. This morning, political analysts Laura Fink and Wendy Patrick join us to talk about their takeaways. Good morning to you, ladies.
Morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Laura, I'm going to start with you. For starters, your takeaways.
Look, it's the ball's in Gavin Newsom's court. It's his job. He has the numbers in terms of registration advantage. His approval ratings around 50%. He's got to turn out that vote. What he doesn't have is the energy. On the Republican side, they are energized. 80% of Republicans say that this recall election is extremely important to them. So they have energy on their side and turnout on their side. What they don't have is the numbers. 1 out of 4, just under 1 out of 4 registered voters in California is a Republican. So the conservatives last night we saw vying for who would replace Gavin Newsom, but who wasn't there? Larry Elder, the darling of Fox News and a lot of the conservative media outlets. Be assured they will be promoting him up until Election Day. So this is it's a little bit of a dogfight on the Republican side, and Gavin Newsom has a one-man fight. It's him and the Democrats sort of against the recall itself. So a long 6 weeks and an interesting 6 weeks as this race narrows.
Yeah, Wendy, what are your takeaways, and why do you think Larry Elder wasn't there? I mean, we know why. We think we know.
Well, he told us why. He described the debate last night as a circular firing squad. He didn't want to be a part of that. And by the way, he's still ahead in the polls in terms of who Republicans are going to vote for. But here's something that really characterizes this recall election. First of all, recalls bring out a colorful cast of candidates, and this is no exception. But on the Republican side, what you saw on the debate stage last night was that there seems to be a little something for everyone. And it is true that lots of Republicans are excited that there are so many candidates to choose from, but because everybody will have a ballot, it's up to the Democrats to get out and vote. And by the way, the numbers have just narrowed over the last couple of weeks. If we had been on last month, I probably would have a very different story as to the chances of this recall actually being successful. Many people may think, why not just wait till next year? It's an election year. Why vote in a recall? So it's going to be a matter of not just having a ballot, because everybody will have one, but actually casting that ballot.
You know, this was a big night for former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer. Wendy, he needed to really kind of step out of the pack here. Did he say anything? Did he do anything that stood out to you? I know he said that in order to get out of the pandemic, we need to all get the vaccine. Was there anything else that stood out that put him ahead on the stage there?
Well, you know, they're all sort of talking a bit about the same types of things: homelessness, affordable housing. The vaccine issue is divisive among Republicans. So I don't think any candidate would think that they're going to win on trying to get people vaccinated, because there is some resistance still. So in terms of did he distinguish himself, I always think he does a great job. I think that all 4 of those candidates are a bit different, and Larry Elder is probably to the right of what you saw on the stage last night. So that draws a very different kind of voter. But I also always ask myself how many potential voters were actually tuning in to that debate, number 1, and then number 2 are actually going to put into practice anything that they saw.
Laura, what is your take? And also, in addition to that, Caitlyn Jenner was a no-show as well, not even in the United States.
Well, you know, I think not having Larry Elder on the stage was a strategic win for him. I think when you look at the polling, he has twice the numbers of anyone else. And remember, you can win with a plurality. You don't need to have a majority of voters with that many candidates, which means you can win with a small but dedicated slice of the electorate. Larry Elder has that. Kevin Faulconer is in struggle, as is John Cox and the other top Republicans in the race, because they've got to beat a guy with a known profile with only 6 weeks left. So again, the first thing Republicans have to do is they've got to make sure people punch the ticket against Gavin Newsom. That's hard. And at the same time, then they have to get somebody to vote for them. That's a difficult thing. They essentially need Gavin Newsom to fumble the ball before any votes are relevant. Now, before you say Gavin Newsom has it easy, I will say this. getting people to turn out to vote is hard. It's like getting people that don't want to work out to work out. They have those ballots sitting on their desk. That's like having a Peloton at home. But will Gavin Newsom be able to get the voters to sort of get on the bike is the question.
Yeah,
so two formative questions for this election.
Yeah, Wendy, I wanted to talk to you too about the recall process, the actual ballot. It's a two-part question, right? So does that bode well for the candidates going against Newsom, or is it better for Newsom?
Well, I don't know that Newsom is still hitting his stride, picking up on Laura's sports analogy. I think that maybe had we had this, 6 months ago, he might have been in a better position because remember, a lot of the discontent had to do with his mask mandates last summer. Now, whether it's his fault or not, he's being blamed for many cities stepping it up again. So in terms of that first question, there are more people today willing to answer yes to should he be recalled than there probably were. Well, we know that there were even 6 months ago because we did the straw polling. But it's that second question. You may have people that might say would like somebody else but simply can't make a choice. However, I do think he really is doing everything he can with the last couple of weeks left to try to not only distinguish himself from the Republican pack, but also re-ingratiate himself to his base.
Okay. Laura, quickly, by the way, if Newsom does get recalled, the winner will be governor for just a year. Newsom has a chance to run again. Laura?
He does. I mean, it is sort of interesting because we've got about 14 months where whoever, if he is recalled, the winner will be in office. And by and large, that will be a Republican if that happens. And then by and large, the Republican will have an extraordinarily hard time winning on a statewide ballot in a regular election. So this is sort of an interesting scenario. But think about this, and this is what Gavin Newsom has to point out to voters that are a little less motivated. All of the Republicans running support Trump in some capacity, either voted for him or are diehard Trump fans. He's got to scare the Democrats to get them to the ballot, to be able to make sure that he doesn't still have to face an election as an incumbent running against one of them in 2022. So here we are, California, always fascinating politics with recalls and statewide ballot initiatives. We do it different here.
Okay. Laura, Wendy, thank you so much. I know today is a big day, sample ballots going out. Very interesting conversation we had here today, and Election Day, September 14th.
Yeah, we appreciate the insight, the analysis. As always, ladies, it's going to be an interesting month here. We will have you back throughout all of it. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.